monthly update. This will be for the month of October. Today, we have a number of pretty phenomenal updates. We actually did skip last month only because there were so many things happening in early to mid-October that really shift all of these projects forward. And so I was trying to wait until we got some of those solidified. With that, we have a lot of good news to share today, so stay tuned. One small housekeeping rule, we are also launching our first newsletter, which is a monthly occurrence. In that newsletter, all through the month, I'm constantly reading and staying up to date with what's happening in the capital markets, the real estate markets, and then also what I'm doing personally to stay healthy and well through what is a hard business, no matter who you ask. And so, that newsletter is for anyone who wants to understand some of the trends, how we're pivoting in the market, and just general personal well-being tips. So if you want to sign up for that, be sure to see the link in the YouTube video if this is where you're watching. Okay, so brief update on capital markets. I think, as you can see here, just this morning, there was an article in the Wall Street Journal talking about what we've been talking about for probably 18 months or so, which is the looming pullback on capital markets as it relates to funding multifamily, commercial office, and in some cases, industrial. Now, big box industrial primarily, so spec industrial, not build to suit and not sort of the flex industrial where we play. So, we've been calling this for some time. In a previous video, I talked about I got very bearish or cautious on multifamily when I saw the permits as a percentage of total housing units in the United States reach 19%. Historically, 12% is where multifamily units stay for all units. And so when that almost doubled, well, it's not a surprise that we see a glut of supply right now in a time where there's expirations on current debt coming due, which is going to increase the cost of capital, which is going to shrink the profit margins in these deals. And so we've been pretty cautious around multifamily, which is why we don't have any of those projects in our portfolio. Commercial office, I've been calling this since 2020, 2021, and here we are. It's not good, so stay tuned to that. And then, on the flip side, we're seeing a lot of strength in the home builders. You're seeing permit levels reach that of pre-COVID levels. And so a very healthy new home builder segment. We'll have to continue to watch rates. They're hovering around that 8% on the 30-year fixed. If that keeps creeping up to 9, maybe 10%, I mean, maybe they still figure out a way to make it work. I'm sure they will, but I would expect a pullback on demand there as well if that were to occur. Right now, though, strong. We're getting a lot of calls for our lots in our communities. As long as you're not in tertiary markets and you're roughly within a 30 to 40 minute drive to an urban core with a lot of action like Austin or Dallas or Houston, you're seeing success. At least we are. So with that said, that's the high level. A lot of things to come there. So let's get into it. So we'll start here with our first master, which is in Lockhart, which is southeast of Austin, Texas. This is a 600-acre master community. Phase 1 is 89 acres, right, which is about 423 lots. We do have 3 builders signed up for the bulk of those lots. We have about 84 lots remaining for builders, and that will happen in terms of the gap there of 84 lots. We're not really concerned with that until probably first half of next year. We have enough demand on our current phase to deliver lots in phase 1 and still be doing just fine. So we'll sell those additional 84 lots soon. But the major news here on October 11th, we got final approval for the plat. So this thing is ready for construction. We are finalizing bids over the next 2 weeks. We were trying to pay off investors this month. We're probably 30 to 45 days out. So I'll be sending you all who were part of that deal sort of the detailed reasoning behind that. And a lot of it has to do with how we're going to save about $1 million in construction through value engineering. So stay tuned to that. Phenomenal news. And other news on that project, we are in the works with the city of Lockhart to finalize our PID, which will be for the master community. And of course, this first part, major step there. So that will be announced hopefully in January to the broad market. And another tailwind for the company. And we're really pushing this Project Lone Star initiative to work to reshape Texas as much as we can. So look forward to that. We should have construction starting here in about 4 to 6 weeks. So hopefully right before Christmas, we will get moving on the dirt. Okay. All right. Another big one. So Pepper Creek Crossing in Temple. We have also received final approval on this one. So 287 lots. We do have a builder from Houston, a BTR builder that are looking to take down all those lots. It is a great site for BTR. No impact fees, which means there's no cost to connect to water and sewer, which is really rare today. And I'm hearing that rents are hitting $2,000 in downtown Temple. So just really tremendous what this site's going to bring for a BTR team. If I was in the BTR space, I would definitely do this one. We are also picking up a commercial for ourselves, which is about 10 acres. And then there's a multifamily piece. And if you know the market of multifamily, we're just going to be sitting on it until the markets sort of rebound and then probably build it out ourselves. But TBD on that. All right, Seguin 80. This is our smaller deal in Seguin. We are working on an adjacent 120 acres to make this another master. Still TBD. That's very preliminary. That will be in January. We start those negotiations. This one, we are at a snag. The Spring Hill Water Company, we have a study in. Their engineers are backed up, and we are simply just waiting to get the darn will serve letter. They've told us they can supply water. It's just a matter of getting that letter in our hand. So we've had to extend the debts on this for 6 months, and so for small fees, but we extended the debt. We have until basically end of April to get final plat approval, which our team feels comfortable that will get done. And then that would mean that roughly in end of Q2, so think of it as like summertime, we'll be starting construction in Seguin for what will be about 320 lots down there. The city of Seguin has been relatively easy to work with. The water provider has been a bear. I think anyone down there knows this. It has probably delayed this project a good 8 months. Our investors know this. We are being very transparent. We're showing them why it's delayed and what we're doing to mitigate that. So it'll probably be our last deal in Seguin. It's just the water company is too hard to work with. So not much has changed there. We've kind of been in the same holding pattern for the last 4 to 6 months due to the water. So we're almost there, so stay tuned to that. Okay, our deal in Flagstaff, Arizona. So this one is, it's such a great project. 82 units, prime location, right there next to NAU, so on the golf course in Pine Canyon. Just phenomenal economics on this. We got our bids back from our construction team. We'll be all in for about $53 million for site work and the vertical. And then the exit is around 80 million on vertical. So really strong margins on this. We're nearly done with all the permits. We are expecting to get building permits sometime in December, at the latest January. And so we'll break ground there in March, April on the site. Now, again, this is only 14 acres, so we're really only building out 7 of the acres. I will say Viewpoint's architecture team has done a tremendous job on the design here. Our amenity center is really top notch. It's going to be an elevated amenity center with cold plunges and a sauna room and a meditation room, very similar to what you see in Japan. So it's going to be a phenomenal amenity center. We do think this site in Flagstaff will basically be this symbol of luxury and exclusivity in the city. Truly a top-notch project, and Viewpoint has absolutely crushed this end to end. So looking forward to that. And I'll show you an example here of the product that we're building. This like modern sort of rustic, woodsy, chic look. I plan to be there in the summertime myself, so I'm somewhat designing this for our team and myself to enjoy it while we're there. So good news there for investors. All right, so our other master community. So kind of closer to San Marcos now, near Cherryville. Phenomenal news. We just got our development agreement approved on October 24th. Again, this is kind of why we're waiting to make all these announcements. This is a huge step forward, right? And so we're now able to go out and talk about the deal with builders. We just created a builder package, and we are beginning to market these lots to builders. We will have a MUD on this, and we have made that submission, so that's well underway. We have our water agreement in place, our sewer provider. So we are looking really good on this project. 346 acres. You know, it's a big project. It's about $100 million in construction over the entire project. So a lot to come here. Again, Viewpoint just absolutely knocked it out of the park on this under the leadership of Luke Carraway. Just solid through and through on this one. And we have a name for it. So we're trying to keep the history of the city in with the community. So it's called the Grist Mill at Prairie Lea. Prairie Lea is the unincorporated city in which it resides. So this will be our typical strategy, which is roughly 70, 80% residential, 20, 30% commercial, medical office, new school, brewery, entertainment district, the whole nine. So really unique community. This is part of our Project Lone Star. So again, these kind of disruptive, sort of innovative communities that we're building and trying to push the market to really reshape Texas for the better. So very, very exciting news with this. We'll probably break ground in June of next year on construction, have final plat approval in April of next year, and then construction starts June, July with lot deliveries probably in Q2 of 2025. So stay tuned on that one. Very exciting news. And again, we talked about our master. We are in negotiations with the city right now as we speak on the PID. So this will be another just monumental community in the Austin area. Again, roughly 30% commercial and all other. So we're going to have a hospital here, a medical campus through our medical board. And our medical board is basically a group of 5 people: cardiologists, radiologists, surgeons, doctors, and of course we're part of it as well. We're bringing that entire community to the site. We'll have a 40-acre entertainment district with our commercial board, and that'll have amphitheaters, again, a distillery and brewery. We're going to have food trucks, micro retail, the whole nine. So this is going to be another tremendous, community in the Austin area. And if you think about what we're trying to do in these communities, we're really trying to create this sort of destination community, right? Like you don't have to live in Austin to get the Austin experience, right? So if you're 25 minutes outside of Austin, you're still getting that experience day to day, but now you can also drive 30 minutes to Austin and go to ACL and watch the events if you want, or go to Stubbs or kind of experience that. And then while you're home, you get a more affordable version of that. So again, we have a lot to do here. There's probably 30 to 40 partners that make these communities happen. And it's just a lot of work, but really exciting what we're doing here. So this one, this will start after we finish the first 89 acres. So the construction on this one will happen in 2026, 2025. We'll close on the deal June of 24. We'll get our first phase ready by Q2 of 25, construction starting in Q3 of 25, and then the lot deliveries happening sometime in Q2-ish of 2026. So we're building this community next to the 89 acres to allow the builders to roll into it as they roll off the first phase. So big things to come there. So that's what we have today. I will say some other things. We are aggressively looking for land in Georgetown as our third master community. If you take a step back and think about where we're going, we keep talking about Project Lone Star, which is now pretty widespread through a lot of these EDCs and ISDs. People in Austin know we're coming. We are looking at 2 more sites in Austin to have a total of 4 master communities. We are targeting heavily Hutto and Georgetown. Liberty Hill is still in the going, but our top options right now are Georgetown, Hutto, and then Liberty Hill. So we'll pick 2 of 3 of those. Those will be our effort through 2024, and then we'll be expanding into Dallas in 2025 to do the same concepts and pick up roughly 6 more communities in our Project Lone Star initiative. And so stay tuned, a lot going on here. Any questions, you know where to find us. If you're an investor and you want to invest, also email me here. We can get you on that track as well. And anything you want to talk about or learn more, you know where to find me. I'm here to help. Thanks.